Morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is up, everybody? How are we doing? How are we doing? Good morning. What's up, Catherine? All right, guys, I'm running a little bit behind this morning. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So I'm getting everything set up. How are we doing? Good morning. Let's do a quick zoom out. We have 8 minutes till the market opens. I gotta get my music going for the vibes. How is everybody doing this morning? How is everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything set up. Give me a second. Give me a second. There's my link. Put this on Instagram so people can find it. Paste. Live for session. All right. Guys, we're getting a really nice rejection and hold of previous day low right now on the higher time frame. So let me turn off some of these indicators. Let's do some real quick charting. Take off those key levels. So I extended this fib. We're just going to get right into it because I'm kind of running a little bit behind here. I extended this fib that was from this low back here to this high. I had the golden pocket, the 0.5 to the 0.618. We broke below that 0.618 finally because of the news. The ceasefire has been expired, maybe. I don't know what the right terminology is, but essentially the ceasefire is no longer. And we have engaged back, I think, in some sort of war in the Middle East. And so the market kind of bled last night. We finally broke this level that is held with the most incredible dad strength. So I added a 0.786. I will do this on big trends when we finally break a level to see where we might potentially find some support again. So that's what this level is down here. This one I'm going to keep on there as well. This is the big trend. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Kind of wishing I could have been on a little earlier to potentially try that PDL rejection. So then I put another fib on my chart on this downtrend, which you can see we actually rejected perfectly. Good morning, guys. Good morning to everyone in the chat. Do you guys see this right here? So the red, we had the high of this overnight, the low. That's where the fib is drawn from the high to the low, because it's a downtrend. Just for clarity for you guys. And look at where price pushed up to and rejected almost perfectly, right? Awesome level right there. I am going to be pretty cautious this morning, because of the fact that we sold off on news. So it's hard to know, has this news been priced in, or are we going to see more downside? Based on how we're rejecting up in this area, the last thing I'm going to do is make sure all my indicators are turned on. Shoop, shoop. So based on how we're kind of trying to reject previous day low, what I would like to see is a failure of this kind of like trend that we have when we open. Nice strong print to the downside, maybe a retest into that to hopefully try for shorts, targeting the lows again and maybe even down here at this 28,800. That's what I like off the bat. That being said, as always, I'm going to wait for price to show us and volume to show us. What it's going to do. Get my options stuff pulled up. How's everybody else doing today? Is anybody taking a trade yet this morning? Are we feeling good? Get some music going. All right. That's weird. QQQ pulled up. Cool. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? $138 on GC for Kiana. Love to hear that. Paper trading made your profit during Asia. I took a small trade during Asia last night also, actually. Made like 280 bucks. So floating a little profit in my accounts. 30 seconds until the market opens. Really beautiful downtrend. So I have this lower time frame, lower trend. If this rejects off the open, off of previous day low and starts to break down here, it will be very hard for me to not want to take a short off the open, which is very rare for me to do. But you can see how we're holding here so well. Pop up. I'm not taking anything yet, guys. I'll let you know if I take anything, but pop up in rejection of this previous day low again, or maybe sweep of this overnight low, or maybe we just pump. Nobody knows. $670 and locked yourself out. Nice. Good morning, Sisu. Good morning, NQ Trader. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Mango, Elsa, Donna, Mark. Sweeping that overnight low, which really represents like Asia low, essentially. If we just rip up and recover this whole move, that'll be wild. I am expecting, personally, I lean more towards wanting to see a little bit more downside, but oh, you want to see the longs? All right. All right, all right. Listen, I'm not here to poo-poo on anybody's trading plan. I want to see how we react up here at this 300, 315 area where this fib is. Up here. Wow. We're ripping off the jump. This is going to be a wait and see sort of situation for me for sure. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, in case you missed it, guys, huge news last night. Basically, the ceasefire was canceled. So, war news, that's why we had this big sell-off. If you didn't know and you were wondering why that happened, that is why. That being said, anytime we have a big move because of news, right? We have to be weary because this might be the move, right? That might be all the downside we're going to see from that. And we've been in a historically bullish market, even with all of the negative news that has come through. And so I have learned to be very wary of jumping in anything after big news events, because I feel like the market hasn't been reacting the way a lot of us think it's going to, or the reactions have been very brief, if you will. So now that we have a lot of you on here, and before we take any trades, as always, just a quick disclaimer that this stream is in no way any sort of financial advice. I'm here to hang with you guys, share my read on the market. It's for entertainment purposes only, and any decisions you make are yours to make. Please don't try to follow my trades, as there is a delay on YouTube of, I think, 3 to 5 seconds. And in general, we shouldn't be following other people's trades anyway, right? Here to talk, chat, hang out, collaborate, share my read on the market, and hopefully make a little money. No longs unless we break and hold above yesterday's high, like as in this high up here, 29,700. That's up there. That is up there. We are holding this fib level I have right here nicely. Interested to see how this 5-minute candle closes, if it closes above or if we start to reject here. Where's QQQ? 707. Getting some contracts loaded, and here comes that potential rejection. Let's see. I don't ever have a plan on GC in QTrader. My plan on NQ is, what is going on with my indicator? That's weird. My plan on NQ is to wait for price and volume to show me. I don't understand why that's happening. What we're gonna do. So that is my plan. I had said off the open, if we pushed up and rejected this previous day low, one of my favorite trades in the world is an aggressive break and retest of previous day low, which would be right here, this purple line. So we had pushed up into it and been kind of holding it. and failing back below it. So if we opened this candle and swept up to this like overnight low and then put in like a super bearish hammer, I potentially would have tried shorts early. That's one trade that I will take sometimes off of the open because it can be such a phenomenal trade. Guys, I'm liking the idea up here of the short, honestly. We're holding this 300 so well. It's just a big stop. Like if I take it here, at 300, 40-point stop, it's not that bad. I'm gonna hold off. I'll wait for a little more confirmation, but that rejection, see how well this level is holding? But I don't understand what's happening with this indicator. Good morning, Kingdom Wealth. Good morning. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Pedro. Good morning, Sean. My encouragement, as always, to everybody is to be patient, to wait for your setup. I feel like days like today, in my early trading days, there's like almost this excitement when you see a big sell-off. You're like, oh, you just want to get in quick and hop in the market, hop in a trade and not miss anything. And the truth is sometimes the best trades on days like today come later in the morning from my experience. So we are retesting that overnight low, Asia low, held that really nicely and bouncing. So I don't love the area that we are in right now. If we can hold above these levels and we end up putting in our 15-minute range and getting a strong close above this lower time frame overnight fib, I would potentially start to look for longs, but there's a lot of resistance. Like, look at all this previous support. You have to expect that as we push back up into this area, we are going to find some resistance. Is anyone in those shorts? Playing out really nicely, honestly, off of that area. I'm just not quite ready to hop in anything yet. Yes, that Thursday low is floating in there. I must have accidentally deleted that level. Right. I had it on my chart yesterday. That's weird. Right there. Make it purple and call it. Yeah. Yeah, that is. So we're testing that 20 EMA on the hourly, the fib, the 0.618 of this whole move from the overnight high to this pre-market low, London low, whatever you want to call it. Scalped a little bag. What would coax my short now? Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I like the shorts from this area. I don't want to get into it yet. I want to wait. This is one of those mornings I just want to let the market settle. I'm going to probably wait I won't be taking a trade probably for the first 20 because I want to see the 15-minute range print. I want to see a few 5-minute candle closures. I want to see what volume's doing. Not saying there are not trades that have already been valid, right? You could have taken the trade off of this level here. 310 down to 250 something. That's like, a good 60 points. But I just want to wait. I want to let things settle down, chill out, and hang out with you guys for a little bit. You're bad at picking tops and bottoms, Tony. That's funny. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? The other fib I did not put on is this like full downtrend, but I don't think we're going to get way up there yet. And this is why I'm waiting, because I think that I just want to see some real clear direction. 29,370, retest it, we'll go another 100 points long. Yeah, I mean, if we start to hold above this area where we, you know, I would have expected, this is what I will say, if we were going to see a continuation of this downside move, it would have happened somewhere here, because now we're starting to break structure to the upside on the higher time frames. We're breaking above the EMAs on the 1 hour. Lots of strength, right? We are hitting this hourly supply. So this could be an area where we end up seeing price reject a little bit. But that's why there's a lot of levels in this area. Sweep pre-market high. Yeah, perhaps. I feel like if we're gonna reject, this is kind of the last area I would personally think we might see a strong rejection, because I'm actually gonna add the 0.786. So right there. Because we have this supply right here, right? I don't want to leave it on there. There's too much going on right now. Key level indicator name is just key levels. Key levels by Liquid Trader. It's this one right here. Key levels, open pre-market, blah, blah, blah. Liquid Trader, 3.7K boosts, whatever that means. Interestingly enough, a fun little public service announcement. I was alerted to the fact that it's being said in my last group that volume is essentially useless and confusing. So in response to that, I think I will be dropping my full VPA course material that I had started to drop in that group for you guys all on YouTube, which should be fun. We have about a minute left until we have our 15-minute range. We're kind of printing a nice little hammer candle, trying to reject this supply area up here. VWAP is anchored to the open, currently around 29,260. I think it might come back and retest before it goes long to sweep pre-market high. Perhaps. Trying to hold over that Thursday high right now on the 1 minute pretty clearly. Yeah, I've had a lot of people who were in the group or are in the group messaging me saying that they want access to it because they hadn't finished watching it or they wanted to rewatch it or whatever. So I'm like, whatever. Let's just put it out there for free. Why not? I just need to re-edit some of it real quick. Nothing super clear right now for me in terms of looking for an entry. We did break above this fib. We got a nice little reaction off of it, but no full reversal. Definitely some sellers sitting up in this area, but buyers seem to be in control still. So wait for a nice little sign in either direction. What is going on with my indicator, you guys? Weird things are happening right now. There's like extra levels that it has on the chart and stuff. Breakdown of volume. I'm not going to get into any of the details of what happened with me with Peachy. I will leave it at the fact that it was differences in opinion of how things should be done from like a business perspective. It had nothing to do with trading or strategy, or anything like that. I mean, I definitely wasn't let go because my trading sucked, because I took many multiple 5 figures in payouts in the 60 days that I was there and showed proof of all of that. And so just calling all my trades out live. I think people were learning. People were saying they were learning. I was getting really good feedback. It really was just a difference of opinion of some business stuff. I think it's difficult when someone like me, who's already worked really hard to build my own personal brand, gets brought into a group, because sometimes the way groups are run is more in favor of whoever owns the group, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just not going to get into it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Good vibes only here on this stream. Gonna put that line there. That's representing the high of the 15-minute range, because I have this set to show me the 30-minute range. Yeah. Yeah, it just wasn't a good fit, you know? Was not a good fit. I like this rejection we're getting up here. Honestly, would love to see structure kind of start to break on the lower time frame. There it goes. Baby. Who was messaging me telling me that I should make sure I never sing on stream? I think I'm going to sing extra today just for you, my friend. Just for you. What a nice rejection. I really do think the shorts could still come in from this area, at least deep pullback. Right now, based on volume alone, I really don't like longs at all. Thanks, Marlene. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah. We don't need to focus on it, honestly. It doesn't. I understand it just happened. I totally respect people are going to have questions, and I want to, do my best to not ignore people when they ask questions. But I also feel like the best way to handle situations when they happen like this are just to rise above any of the noise and move on. So unfortunately, that candle had lower volume. I was hoping that was going to print with a bit of volume for us. We closed back below that Thursday low inside the 15-minute range. Still really think the shorts could start to come in here. I just don't see an entry for me that makes sense. What does the volume look like on an MNQ on the 5-minute? So interesting how different the volume, like the volume on MNQ and NQ has been so significantly different lately. Thank you, Products Herbalife. I will never, ever, ever actually try to sing well. in front of you guys. If I sing, I'm just screwing around, but I actually have been told that I have a decent voice at different points in my life. So first test of that 8 EMA on the 5 is getting a nice little reaction to the upside. Just going to be patient here still. Wait for our opportunity. I want to see what the 4-hour looks like. So on the 4-hour, how long do we have? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we print a high volume engulfing candle on the 4-hour, that is going to be very telling to me and hard to ignore. We do have FOMC minutes today as well. Something to be aware of. I know MNQ has higher volume, or like basically equal volume. So I don't know, there's part of me that's tempted to try the shorts if we pop up and reject again, especially because we do also have this supply. Just am torn in the sense of like 325, 370 would be a big stop for like not my A+ setup. That's kind of my issue. So I'm going to be patient. Yes, I want to see high volume push to the downside also for some shorts confirmation. Gotta be patient, my friends. We gotta be patient. Trump speaking? When is he supposed to speak? Let's pull up Financial Juice. There was a lot of news that came in. I also need to determine if anyone has any ideas of how I should do the giveaway today. We will be doing a giveaway. I just need to figure out how to do it in a way that's less stressful for everyone. Nothing crazy right now on Financial Juice that I see. Still trying to reject up here. That's fair. That's a good point. That is a good point. Just give an account to everyone. Let me just get right on that for sure. Goodness gracious. What's up, Klepto? Thanks for hopping on and saying hi. Gotta prioritize the kiddos. Shots are not fun though. Shots are not fun. Do you journal every day before or after trading? Do you feel like you don't need to as much further into your journey? Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't journal much at all right now. I do not journal much at all. I if I take like I always will like mentally review my trades once I get off stream and I'm done. Usually I'll sit here for a few minutes and just look back over my trades and like make mental notes. I think there's absolutely still a place for it and I should still be doing it. I just don't have the capacity right now with everything I have going on in life. To like full on sit down and like journal everything out. I should be doing it though. I'm just going to be honest with you. You know, I also should be exercising more than I do right now. And I should be probably eating less cookies than I'm eating pregnant. It's kind of like that, you know, like I know I should be doing it, but especially during pregnancy and with the limited energy I have, I just have not been prioritizing it like I should. But I encourage you to do it. I do have a pretty good morning routine that I follow. And I've never been a big, huge like pen and paper journaler in my morning routine in general, but I do read and pray and kind of meditate, and that's a part of my like pre-market routine, I would say. So, what I would like to see at this point, now that we are about to have our 30-minute range, um, I don't feel convinced of this push up. I would love to see one more attempt to break up, maybe a sweep of this level right here, this 420, and a big wick hammer down, close back inside this like 15 and 30-minute range to potentially try the shorts with volume confirmation. Oh, that's a good idea. If you're able to see everyone that stays in your live for an amount of time, put the names in a random raffle. I don't know if I can see that. I do not know if I can see that. But that is a good idea. I like that idea. Okay, so the should-haves, yeah. Usually I've historically used TradeZella. I really like TradeZella. Especially now that they have like the trade replay feature. If you're someone who is trying to analyze what's going wrong in your trades, I really like that. Another nice rejection up here. Give me one push and fail. Sweep up here. This is what I want to see. I want to see the push, sweep, sell off, close back down in here with a hammer. And then, oops. Then I'm going to look for a pullback into that. If we can get this with a sell off, pull back into that, can target like down here, or lower potentially. That's what I like right now. This push up is not convincing at all to me right now. What's up, EJ? What's up, Sasha? Yeah, I also really love the built-in journal on Tradeify if you're using Tradeify. That's one of the benefits of using Tradeify is they have an incredible journal built in, um, if you have accounts with them. So they are the only futures prop firm that I recommend using and stand behind. Shut up, really. Jacob said the same stream about the pop up and fail in that area with volume. Yeah. Jacob and I trade very similarly. And there's a lot of people who will listen to us both at the same time, and that's not the first time that that's happened. I thought of the random number generator thing, but the issue that I have is that um, if I use like let's say I do that and there's 150 people in here right now and everyone puts a number, then I'm like scrolling through to try and figure out who said the number first, right? And I think that it just would not be very efficient. You know? So, I don't know. I might just do, maybe today I'll just give away when we get an hour into the stream or an hour into the market being open, maybe I'll give an account away to to like the first, the number one and the number two people in the chat. And whoever's the number one, this is what I'm going to do. When we get to that point, whoever is number one and number two in the chat for the day, I will give away an account to. Whoever's number one gets to choose their choice between a Tradeify 50K select or a Vanquish options 50K. And then the other person wins the opposite, essentially. So I'll give away one of each. Of course you think that's awesome, NQ Trader, because right now you're number one. Do we like that? Yeah, if you start spamming and just putting like stuff that doesn't make sense in the chat, then I'm gonna eliminate you. Like if you're just writing random stuff and I mean not you can say whatever you want, but you know what I mean. This is an honor system, okay? This is a YouTube stream where we operate out of integrity, right? We're all high integrity, high IQ people here. I don't know about high IQ. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know if my IQ is that high. My street smarts are very high. My book smarts are, I would say, mediocre. I will say, I put in a comment on Instagram that something was cathartic. And I had someone tell me that they think that no one will understand what that means. I like the volume coming in on this candle. If we engulf and close below, if we get an engulfing candle here and close below the 8, ooh, we didn't get it. I still am tempted to try the short up in this area. Is it gonna go without me? Oh, it's going. I missed the entry. That's right where I wanted to get in. Shoot, 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 shoot. Do I still try it? Let's see how this 1 minute candle prints. $324, $344. Give me another entry, NQ. Come on. Dang it. It's gonna go without me. I would have wanted to take the short here, but I like missed it. Let's see what happens up here. The issue here that makes this a little risky is that we touched support and we're holding it and pushing back up into this candle. I really like the volume on that candle though. I'm watching here, guys. I hesitated and I didn't take it. I would have wanted a little higher, 47 to 89. It's a pretty wide stop. I'm watching. I haven't entered anything. I think that was the entry though, and I think the shorts are gonna come in. That what do you mean volume isn't here? That was a good little pop of volume on that candle that kind of engulfed. The only thing I don't like about it, if this closed below the 8, I would have liked it so much more, and below this level. Dang, guys. Oh my gosh. That's okay. We're gonna wait. Whoops. That was the entry I wanted, my friends. I just don't like all these wicks up right here. Like the support here is so strong. I really wanted the 5-minute candle close below like this 300 essentially. So maybe it's a good thing. Good thing that we missed it. Let's see. Long bias, bouncing off VWAP, entered long with a stop around. Nice. Yeah, the safer bet is waiting for an actual break of structure on the 5-minute. We did get an hourly close above the EMAs on ETH or ETH. I still really think the shorts want to come in here. Look how well we're holding this in the volume. Just trying. Whoa, is there news? That seems like news. Hold on, hold on. Pull up financial juice. That was a really volatile candle. I like the 3-bar potential here on the 5-minute to the downside. If this flips, I might try it with stops above this wick. I tried it right there, guys. I'm in at 318. I want to see it flush aggressively. Wow, what a nice little move so far. Come on, keep going. I do not want to see a strong wick up here. I want to see continuation and flush down. I tried it right on the break of that candle body. My stop is at break even, and I will trim on this continuation down. Trimmed right there. Out of 2 of my 5 micros. Stop is still at break even. I want to see this continue because we could very well bounce. We have the overnight high here. I like the continuation so far. I want to see this flush aggressively. I really like how this is looking right now, but we could very well find support in this area. So, do not like that wick. Do not like that wick so far. There we go. Flip back down. My entry, like I said, let me go ahead and put this on the chart for you guys. My entry is at 318.75, which is basically here. My stop was right here. I want to target, like, honestly, down here. Come on. Keep flushing for me. There we go. Y'all, let's go. Let's freaking go. Hitting that 20 EMA. I'm going to take a trim there, right there at 60 points. So that's a 2-to-1. I took 1 more off right there. My stops are still at break even. I want to see these runners just like flush, guys. It was a higher risk trade, so my sizing was not huge. We could try to find support here. Oops. Nice, really clean structure break. Close below the overnight low. Wow, what a bounce. What a bounce. I wonder if that's the 0.6 of today's move so far. Come on, keep going down. Don't like that wick. Don't like that wick. That's why we trimmed down here. Got to find some resistance here at this previous support and start to flush back down if we're going to continue. Whoa. Anybody else in the shorts right now? I like this wick on the 1 minute. Would love to see this. Yeah, wick and close below that overnight low. There we go. Really high volume on that 1 minute. Oh, that's on MNQ only though. We'll see. I'm going to leave the 2 runners that I have at break even. I want to see them either go, like, probably next trim I would take would be down at this, like, opening print. Which might be silly, but I want to see this play out. I want to see this play out. The volume is definitely with the sellers overall right now still, which gives me confidence that this could continue to flush. We did hit the 8 EMA on the 15, and that's kind of right where we bounced, the 20 on the 5 and the 8 on the 15. But the selling is still, I would say, stronger than the buying. There we go. Let's flush and break the low. We need to flush and break the low. Not bounce at that Asia low. There we go. Flush through. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, keep going. Gotta keep going. We're up 72 points on this. Over a 2-to-1. If you all took this, the better entry would have been up on this candle, but I hesitated and I didn't get in. But we found another good entry. Was a great entry still with a clear defined stop loss. Really like what I'm seeing here in terms of the volume coming in with the sellers. I want to see us flush through this 8 EMA on the 15-minute. Do not like that wick up. We're just going to be patient. We're going to let it play out, my friends. We're going to let it play out. I'm trying to decide if I should take one more off. This is like previous resistance, so it could very easily turn into support. I want to see us find resistance on the 1 minute here. If we start to break structure, we could be in trouble. I am going to trail, I think. Sometimes when I'm only in micros, I'm like, what even is the point of trailing sometimes, because it feels like so little. I trailed my stop to the high of this wick. So basically 300. We already went up. We retested that 300. We're holding nicely below this overnight low. We just gotta flush here aggressively. I like how we're holding though. There we go. I put a limit order for my next trim at opening print. Oh, I'm about to get stopped on that trail. Boom, I'm out. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. Lowest trim was like right here as we push through that 20 EMA, so like 70 points. I liked that trade. I still think we could see more in terms of shorts coming in. We have a couple minutes on this candle. Interested to see how we react up in this area. And there's the rejection. This is one of those moments I should have just left myself at break even because I would not have been stopped. But that's okay. We'll wait. We'll wait. There could be another great entry that comes. Yeah, I'll go over my entry. So the first entry I liked was up here. Okay, we printed this higher volume. It wasn't quite an engulfing candle, but the body engulfed the previous body. It was nearly an engulfing candle with higher volume after really struggling up in this area. And the reason I hesitated when we pulled back into that candle, I liked the entry up here. Dang, guys. Bummer. I'm annoyed that I didn't just leave my stop at break even, but that's okay. Hindsight's 2020. I thought that since we had rejected like 300 right here so aggressively, I'd be safe to trail to the high of that wick, and I was not. But that's okay. Still a great trade. So anyway, I drew the fib on the high volume candle from the high to the low because it's a down close candle, and I was waiting for the retracement to here, but I didn't love it because we bounced where, if you look at the 1 minute, see all these wicks? That's right where we bounced this candle up a little bit and closed. Then I was kind of watching as this 5-minute candle was printing right here. And if you don't know, this is called a 3-bar pattern. Okay, so impulse candle, consolidation, the body is very small inside bar, and this is a hammer doji to the downside basically. The upper wick is longer than the lower wick, showing that as we pushed up, sellers really were stepping in here. And we closed down here back below this level that we've been trying to hold, this Thursday low. So then I started to watch over here on the 1 minute, and I saw volume start to increase as we were rejecting that level with these wicks right here on the 1 minute. And as soon as this candle body basically as soon as this candle body was about to break the low of this previous consolidation candle, which is the trigger for a 3-bar, that's when I pressed sell. My stop was at the high of this consolidation candle wick. So I had a very clear stop loss, and I entered right as we started to break that low. I could see, like if you watch NQ, you can see when volume starts to step in, even if you're not looking at the volume sticks, by the way the candlesticks are moving. And that's what I started to see on this. This wicked up aggressively and started to flip down, this candle right here. And so I entered there, boom, and had a clear defined stop loss, which is what's typically most important to me. Wow. Wow. So I suppose it's a good thing that we got out of that. Trying to catch this. I trade on MNQ typically. That was on MNQ. I took 5 MNQ. I trimmed as we pushed into this area initially. And then I trimmed again as we pushed into the 20 EMA, pushed in / through, expecting it could hold, and then trailed to the high of this 1-minute candle. So after this 1-minute candle printed this crazy upper wick, and it was right at that 300 whole cycle level, and at the previous support, I trailed to right here, because that was the next, technically when we pushed back over that, we started to break structure to the upside. And if you look at the structure on the 1-minute, right, we went from consolidation to downtrend, right, to, we put in this wick, made a new low. If we break that wick to go back up, technically we're breaking structure on the 1-minute. And what did we do next? We couldn't make a new low. We put in a higher low and structure flipped. So when I trail my stops, that's how I try to do it. I try to do it based off of structure. And depending on how the market's moving, how quickly, how volatile, what levels we're at, like we were trading straight into areas I would expect to potentially hold, which is why I trimmed when I did. So in that scenario, if I'm going to trail my stop, I'm going to trail it to a place where the trade starts to become invalid, and the likelihood of us at least retracing higher significantly increases because structure was broken, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, this was 5 micros, entered here, trimmed here, and then trailed and was stopped out of my last 2 here. So honestly, it wasn't the best in terms of, this is what I struggle with sometimes, like when I try to hold runners, and why I need to spend some time and look back at my data, is that lately I feel like most of my runners are just being stopped out at break even or where I trail them. So I'm wondering if I should, wow, look at that rejection. Look at that candle, guys. I'm tempted to enter the short again up here. I'm not even gonna lie. It's very volatile, but that's a really beautiful hammer candle with a really strong rejection up in that same area. Couldn't make a new high. Pumped really aggressively, closed still under those levels, and actually the body closed under these previous candle bodies that have been holding. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it. But yeah, for me, like I'm still learning, I'm still growing and figuring out. I'm only 2 years into trading in total, and I'm not perfect at it, right? Like I have a good strategy, I have a good system, I'm profitable, but now I'm at the point where I'm trying to make those little micro tweaks in the way that I manage my trades, enter my trades, exit my trades, all of those things, my risk management, to make my system even better, right? And one of the things that I've kind of been going back and forth on is like, it's fun to hold runners. It's great for social media to be like, look at this 200-point trade that I caught. But in reality, I think that if I were to spend the time and dig back through my stats, look at this rejection. I don't love the 1 minute as much. I like the way the 5 minute looks. I do not like the 1 minute as much. And I don't like how we're holding structure to the upside on the higher time frames. Why is this frozen though? There we go. Anyway, I'm really tempted to try the short again, guys. Oh, look at it go. I didn't take it. I think that if I were to, wow. Look at those shorts come in. I think that if I were to potentially switch to just doing two to one and full exiting over time, that would actually increase my P&L more than the few times that my runners actually hit, if that makes sense. Bulls are coming back. Hard day. Why is it a hard day? Big volume. It's very volatile. It's very volatile. Guys, we said this at the beginning before the market even opened. Be cautious today with your sizing and everything else because there was massive news. Massive news. Let's see if there's any more news that dropped. I only made a few $100s on that trade. I don't see any other news that has come out. Tyler, we're not calling it micro range anymore. We're calling it the golden pocket, which is what it's actually called. Anyway, GP. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, this is crazy price action. So like, the saying that they use about the ocean applies to trading. When in doubt, stay out. Any of you guys ever heard that? I'm happy with this trade overall, how it played out. Yeah, let's hang out and see what happens though, okay? If you missed that first short opportunity that came, there will be more opportunities. Don't FOMO into anything. We're very clearly indecisive in this area. And this is the type of price action, like especially if you look at the 1 minute, this is the type of price action where people end up blowing accounts because it's like death. It ends up being death by 1,000 paper cuts type of situation, Looks good for lower on the 15, I would say. Now we have that same type of 3-bar pattern trying to print on the 15-minute. But I don't like the entry up here and there's not a clear risk area, right? Because if price is here, the way that you should be defining risk is where did price most recently reject? Where would structure invalidate the trade? If you're looking short and you're wanting to enter right here, right? risk technically has to be like up here somewhere, probably at least at the height of this wick. It's a 60-point stop. You want to take a 60-point stop? Better have real small sizing. Big news. War soon. Oh, what? Where'd you see that? Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll do some things that could increase the oil price. That's what Trump said. You guys see that on Financial Juice? Maybe we'll do some things that increase the oil price. What's up, Dougie? Welcome. Thanks for hanging. $70.5 move around the open. Nice, Val. Yeah, I don't know about this price action. I might end up calling it too, but I am going to hang out and just wait and see if there's another opportunity. I haven't taken a trade on my options account. I'm copying. I just realized yesterday that I can copy my fundeds with my evals on Tradeify on TradeC. So I'm copying all of those together, which is a little sketch, but we're trying it out. Trump is live. Where is Trump live? Okay, guys, this is the moment. This is genuinely like one of the things that has helped me so much is learning to identify moments when in the past I would be tempted to just trade out of boredom, trade out of revenge, right? Oh, I wish I would have, exited my full trade out here. I was up so much more. I could have made so much more. All those different things, right? In your morning as you're trading, you need to be able to identify what's happening psychologically so that you can redirect. And I'm not saying I'm feeling this way, but this type of price action, if you took a loss, if you didn't manage your trade well, can be very, very triggering for people. So my encouragement to you is in this moment, you have to tell yourself, I'm not going to overtrade. I'm not going to get FOMO. If you're feeling the urge to jump in a trade that you shouldn't be in, get up, walk away. I used to literally force myself when I was like trying to get past my impulsive trading tendencies to get up out of my chair and go play. I have a Pop-A-Shot, like at the basketball game, right outside my office. And I used to go force myself to get up and play a game of Pop-A-Shot. So figure out what you need to do if you're feeling that way right now. Because this is not the type of price action that is going to really help anyone right now. Christine is in the chat. Wait a second. Christine is in the chat. That just made my day. Christine is one of my early on trading homies. She's another mama. She has a podcast. You guys should go check it out. Shout out to her. It's called Beyond the Charts. You are very exciting. You're amazing. Okay, let me try and catch up on the chat because I got a little distracted on my soapbox. Why can't we just say things definitively? I don't know what you mean by that. What's up, Durrani666? Interesting pick for the numbers on your name. I've been picking up later in the day. Yeah, there's been some great moves later in the day. Yesterday, there was a great, it was also on news, there was a great move in the afternoon. What time do you usually call it a day? Shorts are still trying to short here, guys. So now I will get back to the chat and answering questions in a second. But for me, what I see here is a very, very clear area of consolidation. Boop. Let's change this to like, I don't like green. Let's make it pink. You can't really see that very well. Let's go ahead and, there we go. See how clear that area of consolidation is right there? We're wicking outside of it, but we're struggling to close. We also happen to have our 8 and 20 EMA and VWAP all in that area. So for me, we are pushing below again. A lot of people will say, oh, shorts and hop in here. I want to see two things. Who knows in the chat what I want to see? Who knows what I want to see? Anybody? I want to see a 5-minute candle body closure outside of the consolidation, either to the upside or the downside. And I want to see volume confirmation. Clear close below. It doesn't necessarily have to be all the way below the wicks, but it has to for sure for me be below the 20, the overnight low that's sitting right there if you can see it, the VWAP, and the like into the wicks below all these candle bodies, right? So like somewhere down here, I'd love to see like the 250 area candle closure. High volume, very clear sellers stepping in. And then at that point, if we got that, I would want to see a pullback into, whoops, hold on. It's not what I wanted to see. I would want to see, so that like this candle for shorts, I'd want to see close down here somewhere with strong volume, a big full body, and then a pullback into the area that all of these bodies were closing at, like up in here, maybe into the overnight low, something like this. And then that's where I would potentially try the entry, targeting lower. Same thing to the upside. I'd want to see the candle body close really strong up here, pull back, and then continuation outside, right, of the consolidation. We might get it to the downside. Let's see. Let's see. Trump ends remarks to reporters. Nice. Yeah, let's see what we can get now. The hard part when we have like such a big range like this is finding a good place to put a stop loss. Hey, 10 seconds on this candle closure. We still have 5 minutes on the 15-minute candle, but let's see. So this could be, if it closes down here strong, this could be, we look for the retest into this area. Little pop up into the overnight low. Look for the rejection. That's why we wait for the rejection. Here's the rejection coming in, sorta. So you could try the entry here, 270. I'm not trying it. I don't love it still. I think it's gonna go, genuinely. I'm not trying it though. Are you guys watching this happen? Are you watching this play out? Okay. Next stop, we need to break the low of these wicks. I'm not in this, but I'm walking anyone who's wanting to learn how I would trade this through it. So in this scenario, if you got in somewhere up here on the retest into this candle, hold on one second. Let's go ahead and draw a fib on this high volume candle. So we hit that zone perfectly, okay? If this is your entry up here, the stop loss is up at the high of this candle, which makes it a very wide stop. Or on the other side of that range, I would give it a little more room personally, like at least 20 points. So let's see if it plays out. Let's see if it plays out. I'm gonna catch up on the chat as soon as I come back. I gotta pee really bad. I'll be right back. All right. The shorts are printing at least over a 1-to-1 right now. Kind of trying to stall out. Real traders are in diapers. Listen, I'm pregnant, so I have a little boy that is sitting right on top of my bladder at all times. Guys, see how well that played out? And how much better it is to wait for the clear confirmation than it is to... Wow. Wishing I would have taken that. Anyone in that? Beautiful trade right there, guys. Hitting that previous day low. So if you didn't, that's an area I would have looked to take some off, at least. If I was in this, I am not in this. But if I was, wow. Back-to-back bangers, guys. I didn't take the second one, obviously, but I did take the first one. Nice, guys. I think I missed the window of when I was supposed to do the giveaway. How come there's only a number 1 and a number 3 in the chat? That's the question. Okay. Everybody put something in the chat so I can see who is the current number 1 and number 2, and I'm gonna do my giveaway. 800 on the funded. Let's go, Chris. All right. NQ Trader is number 1 and Kingdom Wealth LLC is number 2. So NQ Trader, what do you want? A Tradeify account or a Vanquish account? 50K Tradeify Select account or a Vanquish 50K account. You can choose what you want. Tony, you should have commented more. Should have commented more. Trust me, guys. Listen, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to be doing tons of giveaways. There's going to be giveaways, hopefully every day. is what I would love to do on stream. Not Tony, but NQ Trader, let me know what you want. This could be now a reversal. So we hit the bottom, nearly the bottom of the range. Previous day low, held support, wicked up quite aggressively. You can see the volume on this 1 minute reversal candle. I wouldn't take it because of how heavy things look right now, but there is a chance that we could hold support. This is previous resistance, right? Very clear previous resistance. It would make sense for us to potentially bounce here. Did he answer what he wants? NQ Trader, you're going to win and then just dip out or what? Let's go. Up 2,200 since yesterday on your Vanquish account you won. Heck yes. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, the shorts, you guys. The shorts. They're printing. Oh my gosh. Wow. Beautiful. It's just going. Beautiful, beautiful. I genuinely think that if Trump hadn't decided to start speaking when we were taking this trade, I think that's when he started speaking. This would have continued down to my target down here, but what can we do? All right, NQ Trader wants the 50K select. So that means that Kingdom Wealth LLC gets the 50K Vanquish account. To claim those, send me a DM on Instagram and I will send you the codes through there. Because obviously I'm not putting them in the chat. We saw how that went yesterday with me putting codes in the chat. That was tragic. Made for a stressful afternoon for me, I'll tell you that much. But I think we got it all sorted out and people squared away. So yeah, I think the shorts could continue to print. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this little zone that we put in there just because it's bright. My eyeballs. This could be a potential entry for a short off of the opening print test here on the 1 minute. I think we could really continue to flush potentially if we hold below this opening print. Looks like it wants to 3-bar on the 1 minute potentially now. So see what it does. Anyone still in those shorts? I'm scalping this, guys, in full transparency from, oh, I'm about to get stopped at break even on this scalp. Maybe not. Flush for me. Scalped the 1 minute 3-bar on the retest of the opening print with a very, very tight stop. There we go. Flush down. Keep flushing. Keep flushing. It's like a pure momentum scalping play right here. There we go. Fall. Oh, out. Made a couple $100. Honestly, the retest here could continue very easily down. There's really strong selling pressure here. Really strong selling pressure. I was trailing that, so I'm sorry I didn't call that out perfectly. But high volume 1 minute close below opening print as we're printing a really strong candle to the downside. Man, I should have stayed in that. Retest on the 1 minute consolidation candle with lower volume. Nothing really for it to be bouncing off of here. I took it here at 197 with my stop at 207. So it was a 10-point stop. Trailed it and got stopped at like 176. So I do not have a video on the 3 bar. I don't think I have a video on the 3 bar, but I can try and make one soon if you want me to. I'm always down. I need content ideas, especially for my YouTube. So if there's something you guys want me to talk about or teach about, let me know and I will try to make a video. Yesterday, someone had said they wanted to see a video on how I use fib retracements to catch continuations. And so that's the video I made yesterday afternoon, put on Instagram. Been out all morning touching grass. That's great. I mean, you did miss this 70-point short that we took and this short that a lot of people took. I didn't take it. That's gone for now 130 points nearly, but okay, so break, potential retest into this area. Interested to see, this is the bottom of the orb, 30-minute and 30-minute and 5-minute and 15-minute, right? Total bottom of session, opening print. Could retest up here and start to fail. This was the last true area of support, right? So it would make sense for some resistance to be found here. I'm not taking anything right now. It's testing into those EMAs. I'm technically still in Team Bull. I actually was in the chat on their Asia stream last night just for funsies. Team Bull is like my family, like Jacob and Jean, all those guys, they're like little brothers to me. Genuinely love them, care about everybody in that group. I want a break from being behind a paywall. Wow. Oh my. That had to have been news, right? Y'all be careful. Make sure you're using hard stops today. What in the... Wow. Jeez. Well, let's wait and see what happens here. Anyway, yeah, I'm still in Team Bull technically. I still have all of my admin permissions in that group. I still have my channels in that group. I don't really post in them, but I just want a break from being behind a paywall and I just want to do everything for free. So that's what I'm doing. And Jacob totally supports that. He's the first person when I got let go from Peachy that texted me, called me, checked in with me, talked me up, encouraged me, reminded me of my value. And he is A1 since day one, kind of homie, you know? So who knows what the future holds, if I'll ever like potentially be formally a part of that group again. I don't know. But the thing about Team Bull is like Jacob doesn't need anybody in Team Bull. He is Team Bull. It was a huge blessing to be a part of that group, but I want to make sure if I were to go back into that group that it would be like as beneficial to him as it is to me, if that makes sense, because he's done so much for me. Really indecisive price action here, guys. Be careful. We're right back into this zone. Really high volume candle that printed. A lot of the volume is to the upside. Crazy doji. Still waiting to see if something is in financial juice. Loved the book club. Peachy's the group that I was in that I just got let go from on Friday unexpectedly, and then decided to start streaming on YouTube for free instead. I did a book club, yes. When I was in Team Bull, it got cut short because I made the decision to move to Peachy, and I kind of had to, because I couldn't stay in there and keep doing my book club when I was like moving groups. I might do it again. It's we'll see. I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm trying to keep my stuff, like my commitments, low versus like add more to my plate since I'm about to have a baby. Kind of like the shorts here again, guys, but I'm not saying to take them. I'm just saying these rejections up here are nice. Not saying to take them. I'm never saying to take any trades, ever. But I would say I'm being extra careful and cautious. I'm just vocalizing what I'm seeing. But I'm being very, very careful and cautious right now because of the fact that the market is crazy volatile. What's up, Melissa? Yeah, my lemonade Instagram. That was it was cathartic to make that. It was just a funny, I like to find humor in crappy situations. That's just kind of how I cope with things, and that was my way of doing that. So China Nvidia news followed by military news. Yeah, I was trying to pull up financial juice and I wasn't seeing anything. Oh, there it is. China plans to let top AI firms buy limited amount of Nvidia H200 chips. I don't actually understand what that means for the market, but so now for me, the next area I would want to see the strong close below to look for potential pullback continuation would probably be down below this area. We could do a similar thing here in terms of just marking, right? We can see this was a very clear consolidation area, and now that's where this wick stopped. So I'm going to want to see us, a lot of people would say, oh, close below, retest of orb. I actually want to see us close below this area because that's the next big like structure point. Technically, we're testing structure on the 15-minute because this was the last area before that big push up. And we are trying to find support here. Last area of resistance turning into potential support. So the next thing I would say we could potentially look for is either do we get the strong bounce down here with a confirmation of things shifting to go the upside. I would be weary personally of trying to take an upside trade. Or do we get the push down, strong close below with volume, and then potentially we're holding that opening print here. Yeah, very strong hold of opening print. I keep forgetting to take a trade on my options account, so I'm trying to see where the QQQ contracts are, so I can potentially look to take something there. So here comes a nice push down. If it can hold down below and break these lows, I think we will see more downside potentially. Pushing, trying, pushing. So QQQ is at 704. If I wanted to look for puts, the hardest part about the options trading for me is like getting the correct contracts loaded in time for the trade that I potentially want to take. So I might try the options trade if we get the nice push below this low, hold, close, that whole vibe, which I think we will, honestly. The 15 closed kind of bullish, I would say, is the only thing. But a lot of that was this like news volume. You're trying to take longs, NQ trader? Oh, let me look at my Instagram. I can send you that stuff real quick. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I think more downside too, personally, but I could 100% be wrong. I would have been a lot more excited about the idea of the downside if the 15 could have closed down here below like 200 and below opening print. So this area, to me, trying to take something from here at this point is very sketchy. So now I need something like this. Similar to that last box that we drew, I need to see this candle or a candle come close strong down here with volume, and then potentially look for the retest into like the bottom of these candle bodies and wicks and into that candle, and then potentially look for more downside. Maybe even all the way down to, whoa, what is going on with my mouse right now? All the way down to the pre-market. Why won't it? Oh my gosh, be done. There we go. Pre-market low. Sweep that pre-market low, potentially. But crazy time to be trading, guys. Crazy time to be trading in this volatility. So just be careful. I would highly encourage you to trade with hard stops if you don't usually. I know that's a debated topic, but all it takes is one headline in these types of conditions to completely blow your account in seconds. Depending on your sizing and stuff, obviously, right? I would also personally size down, not financial advice. Okay, I found you, NQ Trader. I'm sending you the code right now on Instagram. $50K select in your inbox. And now I need to find Kingdom Wealth. Wow, beautiful retest of that 8 EMA. The volume on these downside candles isn't super convincing quite yet. I think there's some indecisiveness in this area though. See ya, Colby. 1,200 over 5 accounts with 2 micros. Let's go. Have I ever thought about doing a Zoom class? No, not particularly. I mean, I think for me to do something like that, like a scheduled class, trust me, like I want to just give back to people and do everything for free, but I also have to value my time. This, like doing this and doing content, I'm going to do content anyway as I'm trying to grow my brand. I'm going to be trading anyway. Live streaming is, I don't want to say it's easy for me, but I enjoy it. It doesn't cause me extra stress or take extra time in any way. However, like scheduling a class to do on Zoom, I feel like is something I would like have to probably charge for. And that's not something that I want to do right now. But eventually, perhaps. Maybe I'll just do it for free. I don't know. I'm trying to not make any crazy decisions. What's up, Pedro? NQ did bounce 0.5 fib overnight low to today's high. Oh, I never drew that fib. I did not draw that fib. Good call. I was distracted. Oh yeah, perfect bounce of it, honestly. Let's delete some of the stuff off of my chart that we don't need. Like, let's get rid of, I mean, technically that's still valid. Let's get rid of this though. I do think the shorts are at play. I think the shorts are going to continue to come in. Let it be noon. I just don't like entering in this type of zone. What's up, Justin? Thanks for hopping on. Welcome, welcome. I like the long ideas, but don't like how we're just hanging around. Yeah. For a long, I would need, I don't even know. There's a lot above us holding, like that's heavy, I feel like. So I don't personally like the long as much. You know where I like the long? I like the long if we get the breakdown here aggressively. Let's say price pushes down and then we sweep this 0.6 of this fib. We do like a look below, hammer candle up, retest into that. Then I like the long targeting back up here to potentially up here. We'll turn that green. Higher volume candle to the downside right there, 3 bar, boop, boop, boop. Let's see if we get some continuation down. Following you for a while, super happy you're now doing the free lives. Trade similar to you and find your life so calm. Thank you. Thank you. I try to be calm. I really, truly appreciate all of the feedback and all of you guys who are showing up and hanging out. I always tell people, like, when I trade, it's definitely not like probably the most entertaining. I know there's people out there that are like just born to entertain. That is not necessarily the vibe for me, but calm, cool, and collected is the vibe that I try to go for. So that feels nice to hear. Which platform? I like Tradesy. I like Tradesy a lot. That's what I'm executing on these days when I can. I only used wealth charts once. and I just didn't. Actually, you know what was happening is my accounts kept getting like disconnected from the platform. So I would go to trade and it would tell me that I have no active accounts, but they were in fact active funded accounts that I had passed. And I ended up just uh, swapping and getting out of wealth charts after that because there was like some sort of weird connection issue that I kept having. Yeah, Trade C is basically, I would say it's very, very similar to Project X. Has trading view platforms or trading view charts is what I meant. All right, here's that attempt down. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the risk management system, being able to set yourself up to have like the profit target and the daily loss limit, the way the charting works and the integration. So this is why we're waiting, guys, right here. Since we're just hanging around right now, if anyone has questions that I missed earlier that's still on, I saw some questions and I don't remember what they were, but I know I didn't answer them. So feel free to drop those now. I'll answer some questions. And I'll probably stay on until about 9:30 my time. And then I'm going to hop off because I have Tradeify TV today for Women's Hour at 1:30 Eastern, 11:30 Mountain, which is my time. And I want to have a little break. What's up, ND? I'm having a great day. Green called out a couple solid trades. Can't see what time frames. This one is actually the 15. It's supposed to be the hourly. I had tried to put it on the hourly earlier and it froze. There we go. So I have hourly is the top left, 15 is the bottom left, and then the 5 is the top middle, and the 1. All right, we're getting that push and there's volume coming with it, guys. So let's see. If this closes down here below this wick, how much time do we have? 20 seconds. These are the two scenarios I like. Either a pullback into this candle / potentially just like honestly into this wick. It could just go. Issue being 55. It'd have to be a pretty wide stop loss. Should I delete these? I'm gonna delete these. All right, there it is. Is this our retest up? Okay. Okay, I'm trying it. Trying it here. I want to see it flush aggressively right now. And my take profit is going to be down at that 100 area, the other side of that fib. My stop's already at break even because I don't like how we're hesitating. Come on, break the low, 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 flush, flush, flush. I don't like the hesitation, flush. There we go, flush down. Come on, 3 bar, 3 bar. There we go, there we go. Let's freaking go. 148 is my entry. I'm trailing this because I think we might bounce still. Let's freaking go. Beautiful. Trailing. I'm at 124 with my trail. And my TP is at this 100 area. Come on, flush, keep going, keep going. Don't take me out. Okay, I'm out right there. Scalped that. It'll probably continue, but I'm already green. If I'm already green on my accounts like that and I want to take another trade, dang it, I meant to take that on my options account, you guys. It's going to keep going. This was my entry. Right here. And I literally had put my stop right above this wick. Really tight stop. Wanted to see us like aggressively flush down, which is what we're doing now. I got stopped like right. So it was a 2-to-1. 2-to-1 trade. Even though it was small. It was a scalp. I was treating it as a scalp. Look at the flush, you guys. So this is another area we could bounce. Be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Be aware. If you're in that trade. Dang. Okay. You guys see how well that confirmation works if you wait for it in terms of the high volume breakout candle retest? In this scenario, because the volume was really heavy, I was willing to take it early with a tight stop because I thought, like, if you look at the 1 minute, you can see this is where we bounced before. We closed below, pulled back into that bounce area. I have a level right there too. I don't know what I have that level set from. I think it's this previous low, yeah, that was set back here. Okay. Ba-ba-ba. Missed the trades. Hold on. Hey, Jen. Hope you're having a good day. Can you walk us through your process on moving stop loss to break even? You seem to do it pretty quickly. It depends on where we are and what the market's doing. So in this scenario, I move my stop loss to break even very quickly because of the fact that we are in the middle. We are breaking into a golden pocket zone, which is one of the things that I trade off of. So this fib is drawn from the low of the overnight session to today's high, and we already bounced aggressively off the 0.5, and now we're breaking below it, and the next area that we could bounce is that I was like really interested in is this 97, which you can see we're very obviously bouncing. This could be the reversal now. So now watch this. We can draw a fib on this candle. If we start to bounce in this micro range area, this could be an area where we actually start to reverse and really push back up. This is the other scenario that I drew on my chart. Push below this level, fail, aggressive hammer to the upside with volume, which we have. If we start to hold this, you could take the long here with stops on the other side of this range, or the more appropriate stop would be the low of the candle. First target would probably be the 8 EMA or the opening range low / opening print. And there it goes. See that? So anyway, in this scenario, even though these two levels, the 0.5 and the 0.618, are the areas I'm most interested in looking for the bounce and the reaction off of, if I'm going to take a scalp out of this like zone that we were stuck in based on high volume, I'm going to move my stop to break even quickly, because it's not always that we go straight to the level and bounce. Sometimes we front run it. Sometimes we bounce early. And sometimes we bounce extremely aggressively in these golden pockets. And so it is a way that I manage my risk, especially when I'm already green on the day. I'm very green on the day. I'm very happy with the trades that I already took, right? I took a trade in Asia last night. I took this trade. I took this other scalp over, where was that? Now I don't even remember where the other scalp that I took was. Somewhere over here. Anyway, I've taken a couple of trades. It was over here. It was over here, this right here, off of the opening print into this level. So anyway, I've already taken a few trades. We've already gotten very green. These areas can be unpredictable. And so it was a scalp I was willing to take just based on my experience reading NQ and price action. It was very low risk. And even though it was very low risk, when I'm already at a 1-to-1, nearing a 1-to-2, I'm going to move my stop to break even. It just is, in my opinion, the correct way to manage a trade like that. So this is not working out in terms of the reversal here. Can't say it's something I would have personally wanted to take just based off of how heavy the market feels and the news and what Trump has said and everything else, but hopefully that helps. How many days of yours are a winning percentage? I don't understand that question. How many days are, like, what's my percentage win rate on each day? Or what percent, like, what's my win rate in general? My percentage? I don't know the day exactly. And I would have to go actually look and see. I have a pretty high win rate. It's usually somewhere between 70 and 80%. Part of that is because wow, look at that, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shorts from, like, if you took this and you've just been holding it, you probably would have been stopped. You wouldn't have been stopped if you respected your stop loss on that. But so now we're failing that. If the volume keeps coming in, we will see what happens. Oh yeah, like the video, subscribe. I always forget to say that. Thank you, Pedro. So where exactly are you seeing entries for the trades? Are you drawing fibs on those breaks of structure, candles, and then taking it short on the pullback? Again, it depends. In this scenario, this little trade that I just took right here, you can go back and watch this YouTube video if you haven't been here the whole time, and I've walked everyone through every single trade I've taken and why I've taken it and where my entry has been. In this scenario, I literally had arrows on the chart before this candle printed saying if we get a strong full body candle that closes down below this area with volume, I will look for the pullback into this area. And I literally said, whoops. I literally said, I want to see the strong candle close below these bodies. And then I want to see a retest into these candle bodies. I did this exact thing. You can go back and look. And that's exactly what happened. And as we retested into those candle bodies, that's when the magnet is messing with me. But as we retested into those candle bodies, that's when I took the short. And my target was here, but I trailed and I got stopped out about here. So Lynette is up 800. Hopefully, who's up today? I don't live trade. I have live traded the Asia session historically in the other groups I was in because it was something that I was asked to do. I don't know that I will be doing it. anytime soon on YouTube. We will see. I'm streaming every New York session. And I'm also pregnant, not to be a broken record, but by the end of the day, I'm pretty wiped out. And maybe it's something I'll do like once the baby comes or something. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go. Please make sure you guys like the stream. If you're on here, that helps me and the reach. There could be another bounce area down here if we put the 0.786. That would be the next. So if I'm in a short and we're pushing through a fib like that, I will add levels as we go to determine trim levels too. Like if I'm holding a position, that's something you can do if you're in this, just to be aware we could bounce again as we push down into this area. The song that my husband and I danced to at my wedding is playing right now. Let's go. Everybody's green. Yeah, you guys can always go back and watch. Find my little pullbacks on the 1 minute. I usually am looking for candle closures on the 5 and then reactions on the 1. So in this scenario, using this example again, this short entry, I told everyone I wanted to see a 5-minute candle closure outside of the pink box with volume. We got it. It wasn't a ton of volume, but it was a drastic pop in volume from the relative previous candles. Then I looked at the 1 minute. The 1 minute had its closure. We retested into it on the very next candle, which was this white candle on the 5 minute, this green candle on the 1 minute. And I entered as we started to push back down after testing this area. So my entry was 148, I think is what I had said, which is right. Might be a little high. So my entry was actually like right there. And my stop was just at the top of this, the candle that was printing. It was over here that I took it, by the way. My stop was at the top of this candle wick. So it was a very tight stop. And I moved my stop to break even as soon as this broke down, this 3 bar, 1, 2, 3, as soon as this third candle broke the green candle's candle body, my stop was moved to break even. And then I started trailing as this was pushing down aggressively, and I got stopped like right here-ish. So this was actually the piece of the trade that I caught, which you might sit here and go, oh, Jen, you missed so much of the move. I don't care. I'm already green. It was a scalp that I just took for funsies because I'm on here with you guys hanging out and teaching. This was the main trade that I took today. And I'm being very cautious today. My size is nice and small. I've been taking 3 to 5 micros on 150K funded accounts. It's very small size because we're very volatile and there's a lot of news. Tony made it to number 1. Thank you. Should I take his account away because he's slacking and he fell out of number 1? Listen, Fern, I will probably, my maternity leave will likely be quite short, knowing me. For reference, when my son, my firstborn child, was born, I did not take any maternity leave. I was not trading, but I was working as an independent contractor as a nutrition coach. I literally worked while I was in the hospital in labor. I was checking in with clients. I try to find things in terms of like careers that I really love and I want to do. And I love trading, you guys. Like it freaking, I love it more than anything else I've ever done in terms of like work. So I will not be able to stay away. I might just have to stream with my camera off depending on how ratchet I'm looking. Do people still say ratchet? Is that still a thing? 100% win rate on the day. I have childcare actually upstairs right now. So usually during the school year, my kids are in school. That is something we'll have to figure out when the school year starts again. So during the school year, my kids are in school historically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but my son is going into like kindergarten, so he's going to be in school 5 days a week. My daughter will be in school 3 days a week. And historically, I've streamed 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, on the days they're in school after my husband usually takes them to school and then goes to the office. And I would wake up and get them up, get them dressed, get them fed, pack lunches, and then he drives them to school, and then I would stream. My husband actually works East Coast hours, so his work hours actually kind of are not great for my streaming, but we make it work. Our kids are old enough that and we've taught them to be pretty self-sufficient. As long as we, get them fed and whatever, they'll usually kind of just play together and hang out for a little while if they need to. But for the summer, I have a nanny that's here Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a few hours in the morning. So I can stream, he can work. The kids have someone playing with them, taking them to the park on the golf cart, stuff like that. And then, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting adventure when the baby comes. We'll see. Instead of being like, hey guys, sorry, I got to hop off so I can pee, I'm going to be like, hey guys, sorry, I got to like change a poopy diaper. I don't know. Oh, he's back in first. So at this point, I still like the idea of us coming down and testing this pre-market low. If you haven't taken a trade, you could try the trade off of this area. Like if we draw a fib from, you could either do it from this to this. So we're hitting that area and rejecting it. It correlates perfectly with this 0.6 that we broke through. We had high volume on that breakthrough. We did have a pretty high volume bounce here. I would like it better if it went up to test like the 8 maybe and started to reject. I don't know. I'm done trading for the day. I'm really regretful that I forgot to take a trade on my Vanquish account. I'm going to stay on for like 5 more minutes, and this time I'm going to actually focus on the chat and answer any questions. But please, please, please like, subscribe, share. If you made money and you do the social media thing, feel free to tag me. Let the world know that you're hanging with me on stream and we're cashing in. I will say that today I managed my trades very tight. But I told you guys at the beginning of the stream that was my plan, to be very cautious, to size down, to manage my trades tight because of the expected volatility. And we had some really crazy volatility. Got ripped on the face? What does that mean? Just got ripped on the face? You're still on the peachy indicators. So currently I'm using key levels. Sorry, my charts look crazy right now. I'm gonna delete this zone now that we got out of it. I am using key levels. This one right here, key levels by Liquid Trader. And these are my settings, if you want to see. I think I have a YouTube video that goes through this too. So I have the 30-minute opening range in gray. I have pre-market marked out in yellow. I have the overnight high and low marked out in pink. I have yesterday's high and low on regular trading hours marked out in purple, and the opening print marked out in blue. And that is all I have. Here's that retest of the 8 EMA for the first time. Oh, I thought this was the higher volume red candle. This is the higher volume candle. So I actually don't know that I like more shorts from here. I would be careful up here. Blew through that area. Did you see my key level settings? Oh, what's up? Hopefully you guys saw those settings. I am also likely, so one of the boys in Team Bull has an indicator. It's super cool that he built that I might start trying out. I'm hoping to get access to it and start trying to use that. So if I do that, I'll let you know, and you guys will be able to see it on my screen and all of that. Rejecting the same area pretty nicely. Let me get that really quick for you. Trying to find the codes for the Vanquish account to send. I'll have to do that in a couple minutes. What's up? How do you say your name, Lithuanian trader? Alina? Elena? Alina? Let me know. I'm probably saying it wrong. That's why I'm asking, because I try to say people's names right. Alina. Yeah, that is a nice rejection in that area again. For sure. Wow. Beautiful rejection. You just wrote it. Now I don't know how to say it. But still. You have to write it like phonetically for me. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I'm happy you know who I am. I'm just a person. We are the same. Just two gals trade in the NASDAQ. Actually, do you trade the NASDAQ? I don't even know. Yeah, voice clip me how to say your name so I don't butcher it anymore. I execute on the 5 minute and the 1 minute typically. So I'm always looking for a 5-minute candle closure with volume confirmation. I shouldn't say always, 90% of the time. I'm looking for a 5-minute candle closure with volume confirmation. And then I'm looking, typically I drop down. That's why I have the 1 minute here, and I'm watching for the reaction on the pullback on the 1 minute for my entry. So, da, da, da. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll listen. I was telling everyone on the stream how I decided, since people are talking poorly about volume, I'm just going to release the course that I made on volume for the group on YouTube for free for everybody, which will be great. How'd you trade today? Are you green? We took some bangers. We took some bangers. What time frame? Nice rejection. Blah, 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 blah. You're from Canada? What's up, Lucy from Canada? I love Canada. One of my fave traders in the world, shout out Rebecca, is from Canada. Survived, got out green. Oh man. Yeah, this, if you were in anywhere around here, it got rough. I didn't take this, but we watched it play out. I called it out. I took this over here, which looks really nasty, but I took it here and got out here. So it was actually a really good trade. And then it got real wicky and volatile after that. And then, yeah, took a little scalpy scalp here that I'm out of again. But y'all, I think it's that time. Unfortunately, I'm going to call it for the day. I'm done trading. I'm locking my accounts probably because I'm nice and green. And I don't want to go trying to chase max profit or force anything and end up giving anything back. I will be on Tradeify TV Women's Hour today at 1:30 Eastern. So tune back in for that. Maybe we'll get to do a giveaway. Who knows? I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me and just giving me the opportunity to do this whole streaming thing with you. Super fun. Hopefully you guys learned something and took something away. We'll be back on tomorrow for New York Open at 9:15 Eastern. And I will see you all then.